Welcome to the Planet Paintball Podcast, the ultimate podcast for paintball enthusiasts. Each week, we dive into the world of paintball, bringing you stories, insights, and tips from players, coaches, and industry insiders. Sponsored by 1023 Sportswear. Looking for high-quality gear that performs as hard as you do? Check out 1023 Sportswear. And as a listener of the Planet Paintball Podcast, you can get 20% off your order with the code PLANETPaintball. Suit up, save big, and play your best.
All right, welcome back to the Planet Paintball Podcast. Today I got Aaron Rios and Davis with me from Bearage Factory off their second place at the NXL Tampa event. How you guys doing today?
Pretty good, man. How about yourself?
Doing good.
They're good.
So, well, let's start off with this. Where did you guys play on the field wise for the event?
I'm up in the middle, as always. There's a center tower that went into those big center structures. Davis is kind of sometimes all over the place, but also up in the middle.
Yeah, I played that Dorito tower a little bit, and then I mainly played the home. So nothing crazy.
Well, I obviously watched you guys, but for those that didn't, kind of take us through the prelims, if you will.
Yeah, prelims started off okay. I think we, to our standards, didn't fully hold up, but we had some big mistakes. I mean, we went up 3-0 on a team and then let them come back, take the lead, and then barely made it into overtime and took the lead. I mean, just some sloppy wins that weren't very convincing in our books. Come Sunday, I feel like Sunday morning was exciting because guys really kind of woke up and things were clicking, and we rolled over some pretty good teams, and that really built some confidence, I think, within the team. So Sunday was fun.
Okay. What was the hardest match in the prelims?
Probably the demolition game.
Yeah.
Just because we went up so many points and then they brought it back. I don't know.
Yeah, that definitely.
That's my opinion.
For sure. No, that was. I hate this. I mean, I think respect to the guys for coming back for sure. I hate that we kind of gave up certain things. Like we realized it later on, and it was frustrating to break that one down. But yeah, it sucked having those guys come back and then us having to stay composed and squeeze one last point out of it to go into overtime. Which credit to the guys that did. I think the last 3 points that we had to come back was the same line. We just spun, and they got it done.
Nice. Okay, so that was the hardest. Was that the only overtime in the prelims?
We had 2.
As far as you
Yeah.
was
And
it?
I think it was Denver altitude.
Yeah, those were. Yeah, we had some nail biters. It wasn't Saturday. Wasn't for sure.
It wasn't pretty.
Friday wasn't for sure.
Looks like you guys went deep with the shut up, we're trying. That looks like you went up 8 to 3.
Oh, okay, that was on the Mercy. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, that one. Those are the games where I felt like we were clicking.
Okay.
That one, I think specifically, was probably our best prelim match. And then,
sorry, that was Sunday.
Oh, was it? Okay. Which one? There was one Saturday. I think we mercied.
Yeah, the preferred mob, right?
Yeah. Okay. P-mob.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, that was a good one. I think just because they are, one of the names in the semi-pro guys, so that was our first, like, we know who these guys are. They don't know who we are. Let's see what happens. And we did well.
And they're out from, I think they're from Boston. So that was, and then your first Sunday game was Collision, right?
Yeah, Collision was dope because I think we did respect those guys, and we knew, Sunday is going to get even harder. This semi-pro league is no joke, and Sunday is going to be the ultimate test for us. Those mistakes we had on Friday and Saturday, we can't bring over into Sunday. And game 1, we play Mike Hinman's team with some of the top talent in the West Coast, and I think we respected those guys well enough that, I think we played.
You locked in and Mercy rolled them, so.
Yes. That definitely felt good, too. That was a good confidence boost for the team.
Nice. And then it was shut up, we're trying, which went, and technically I think you Mercy rolled them too with the 3-8, right? And then, so Davis, was this your first time stepping onto the pro field for finals?
It was.
How was that?
My first. It was awesome. I mean, it was surreal at first. It was like I'm on the pro field, but after that first point, it just.
Was that your first finals for A national event?
for the NXO.
Okay.
He
Cool.
told us that right before we went onto the field, and
Yeah,
a few of us that had been there before were like, "All right, lock in. We're getting this for
yeah,
Davis. We're doing this for
yeah.
Davis."
We'll get one.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
You guys looked really good all weekend. Despite what you guys said about the prelims, I think the team looked pretty good.
Yeah, Davis came up. This dude's been really like putting in the work, and the team last year recognized it, but this year kind of gave him the nod, and he had the option of moving up to the D2 line, or we gave him the option of if you want to play with us, and we told him we don't know what kind of playing time that's going to come with. It's up to you, and he's probably, I could honestly say, the only person on the team that is at the field every single weekend, putting in the time. Come layout weekend, he played great. Come event, he got the call. He was starting line, I think, on most every game we played probably that weekend. So he played really great. And I think we talked about it too a little bit. We had actually a practice against the Ironmen
Okay.
Wednesday, right?
Thursday.
Thursday, yeah. And that was a good little taste for you, I think, right? Like that's the
Yeah,
first
it was
time
awesome.
playing those kind of guys, and he was fine and
Yeah,
laughing,
they're
having a
just
great
dudes.
time.
Yeah, they're
So
just
at that point in
dudes.
time, we knew he was ready. Sure enough, he's done it out all weekend. He was.
Nice. So let's talk about your little kind of when you got the call, Davis. Like, did you
Yeah.
think about it a long time? Did you not? Was it a no brainer for you to take the step up?
Yeah, so I guess we had those tracks back in January, choose to play D2, or I could choose to play with the D1 guys. And it took me about 4 or 5 emotional days and emotional between me and a couple of my buddies. I'm excited for that.
So, what made it so emotional? Was it were you coming from the D2 guys? Were they like a group of friends that you had before?
Well, it was, I don't want to like call anyone out or anything, like say names or anything, but
No,
it was
that's
more,
fine.
it was more so just like I was taking one of my best friend's spot from on the
Okay.
team, and it was like, do I go play with him, or is it like, do I do what I was, dreaming of since I was 12 years old?
Mm-hmm.
So it was super hard at that point, at that time to make the decision, but I'm glad I made this decision.
All right. So no regrets yet.
Not yet. No, no, no.
I think I even gave the advice during tryouts. Like, I felt like I saw a lot of my younger years in the game. I've had that drive and that craving to just play as high level as possible, and I definitely overstepped in my career, in my time and my decision making. And I was able to kind of go back, play in the divisionals, play D2, work our way back into it. And now I definitely feel like we are where we deserve to be. So Davis, though, I mean, credit to him. Like I said, the difference is he puts in the work. Like he really does put in the work where it's you can't not give him the chance. And not only did he like take the leap of faith and go for it, like I said, he started every point for us and he stunned it out actually on the semi-pro field. So yeah, I think he's ready. It's no doubt.
Okay. So what Davis, when you go to the field, what's like the things you're prioritizing on a
I'm always
non-layout? Yeah.
always working on like my fundamentals, and it's I don't know. I always have a routine, so I try not to do stuff on Saturdays. I don't like shooting people on Saturdays, right?
Okay.
So I go to the field and I do everything slow, like almost to like a walking or like a jogging pace. So if you can do it slow, then you can do it fast, is how my brain works, right? So my first routine is I do like the box drill, and then from there I pick a pole and I pick 2 bunkers, and I kind of go back and forth, and I only shoot 4 or 5 balls. And I'm
Okay.
making sure I'm hitting the pole, and if not, I'm going back and I'm starting over and I'm doing it again. But I mean, I just work on like fundamentals every weekend, and then, you know, I mean, yeah, communication you just do like during points. So, I mean, nothing special, nothing crazy. I don't have like a
No, but
secret
I think
formula
that's
or anything.
important. Well, the secret formula is you're there.
Right, yeah, no, it's like, yeah, I guess like, yeah, like the more time spent behind your gun, obviously you'll see improvements.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was. It's funny you say the doing things slow thing because I was just telling some of my D6 guys, don't worry about speed on this. Worry about doing it right, and then we will speed up.
Yes.
So I think it's important to hear from someone like you who is now playing semi-pro versus me who's stayed locally, if you will.
Yeah.
So, and then the pole drill, that's something I started doing like 2 years ago and saw like that just helps a ton with running and gunning.
Yeah.
So, and I think even off the break shots, it helps with.
Definitely.
So,
Definitely.
what about you, Aaron? Is there anything when you go out to the field that you're doing? Do you have a routine on non-layout weekends?
If I'm out there, it's copy Davis, whatever he's doing. I'm keeping up with him. Yeah, no, I mean, I think we kind of do. I mean, if we are out there together, we kind of just set up some stations, maybe do a couple of our own little things to warm up. I do, yeah. Like the around the world is one of my favorites. Just kind of standing, doing a down low right, up high left, down low left, trying to hit the same target 4 times in a row, or restarting.
Okay.
Some simple things like that, I definitely think help kind of just get some things calibrated. We do a progression drill quite frequently. We'll, decide the 6, 7, 8 main shots of from the box to going all the way down the snake side, set up those cones, move from bunker to bunker, take the shot, move to the next bunker, take the next shot. And we do that quite often. And we'll do silly stuff just for the discipline of it. I mean, you'll see us get in a line and go through that progression drill. And we practice the communication it takes of each spot. So as I get to that spot, I'll say, I'm on this zone, kill this guy. I'll go to the next one. Then I'll wait for the guy behind me to take that next zone and say, hey, I'm on this zone now. Got it. And I mean, so our communication has to be practice down this line and this escalator kind of thing. Just to kind of again hold ourselves accountable as we can this year.
Nice. All right. Well, let's jump back into the event, and we kind of ran through it quick. Let's go through Saturday night. So what's going on at the team house gearing up? Are you guys taking some time off, or are you dissecting what footage you got from the day?
We're getting chewed out by our captain leader most of the night, and I can guarantee that by the end of Saturday night, the mistakes that were made, the slack, in the rope, if you will, was, figured out and tightened up. We were watching footage, we're breaking down the games. I think we even were staying up a little late just to watch the teams we potentially would be playing. We knew of one of 2 teams I think we would be playing, kind of watch some footage of those games. Most guys I think would probably, I know I could speak for a few of them, would go lay in bed, but pull up on their phone and keep watching footage until you fall asleep. I think with this year, the advantage we have is obviously all this footage that's available, the games being recorded. So it's kind of silly not to take the time to just watch and start to develop those patterns and those things what players have in this league.
Yeah, I think what's different from semi-pro in the past is the last couple of years there is footage, right? Everyone's getting at least 2 games, I think, on the premier field, right?
Yeah, we had 2 on one field, then 2 on the premier.
Mm-hmm. So you do have that. You get to watch yourself, not only that, but you can potentially kind of scout someone who's coming up, right? So
if you can get the bye on Sunday, you can stay home Sunday morning, watch the first game in bed.
Yeah. Did you guys get the bye or no?
We did, but we ended up just going to the field to watch just because traffic in Tampa is so unpredictable. It wasn't worth the risk. So we were like, let's just all be at the field, watch that game live, chill for an hour, get ready, take our time.
Do you guys set up like a Bearage compound somewhere where like all the teams kind of congregate in between, or does each team have their own thing?
Each team really has their own thing. I think there's a few that bounce around and help everybody, like the owner's wife, a few of the pit staff that bounce around from team to team that are, there. But I think each team kind of finds a spot and does their own thing. And then we all just keep checking in with each other constantly on how it's going.
Okay. How much do the semi-pro guys like go and check on the other teams and help out in the pit, or are you guys all focused on semi-pro?
I mean, we definitely try to. There's plenty of time, or once our games are done for the day, there's probably a couple guys that need to go home and just rest, chill, get out of the sun. Some of the younger guys that still have the energy that want to go help jump right over and I think, jump right into the pits and get at it. So, but we are pretty disciplined. We have such a big program that we have to kind of be more organized on how many people we allow in there to help. Our pits, there's somebody getting yelled at every game that we have too many people. There's just too many in there that we're bumping in. We have 11 players plus 2 coaches. I mean, there's a lot of people in there. 3, 4 girls in there helping out in the pits. If we have anybody else, it gets too chaotic. We kind of respect, once 1 or 2 people are in there helping, they got it taken care of.
Yeah, stand back, because those divisional pits aren't that big.
Yeah, no, it's not.
So, all right, cool. Davis, why don't we go through your paintball journey a little bit, man?
Okay. All right.
When did you find the sport?
I started playing back in 2012. I had the boring birthday party story.
Okay, you're a birthday party guy.
Yeah, and then I just, fell in love with it since that day. But I spent from, I'd say, fall of 2012 to about fall of that next year playing rec ball and woods ball. And then I remember my first time, one of the first times I ever stepped on the speedball field at Nitro Paintball. That's the field I started playing at. Shout out Nitro
And Mario.
and all of them. Yeah. No, but the first time I stepped on an X-ball field was when Damage showed up one weekend, or at least that's like one of the first times I remember stepping on the field. And it was so cool, like being, a 14-year-old kid playing these pros at the time, you just think are amazing, right? Everyone who plays professional paintball at that time, when you're that young, is your idol, right? But yeah, started playing at Nitro Paintball 14 to about 2018. I played on a few of their the local teams to Nitro, like Polar Bears, Atlanta Vengeance. We were playing MILPs at the time. Took a little break because I was like a senior in high school.
Busy lifetime.
Yeah. And then got back into it playing under Nitro with, Blaine, who's currently on the semi-pro line, Tanner Conrad, who's playing D2. Started playing with them for about 4 years, and then Nitro fell apart in 2023. And then I started playing with Bearage since then.
So you just kind of transitioned over.
Yeah, once Nitro closed down, we were looking for fields. We were practicing at the time out at Classic, and then when that fell apart, we were practicing I was practicing out at Blazers Paintball.
Okay.
Out in Rome, Georgia. Then yeah, tried out for Bear Ridge, got on their D3 line, and then I've just been part of Bear Ridge since last year.
So Aaron, when did you start taking note of Davis?
I was probably the last one.
Okay.
Not just no, it's hilarious is actually today, little backstory is I messaged Davis on Facebook, and a message from 2013 popped up of me trying to buy his Lux.
Talking
and
about
trying
a
to buy
gun, yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, we go back farther than I realized. Like,
Yeah.
So I mean, we've been around each other for a while. We've known of each other, distantly, but never been as close as we are now. And him being on the D3 line last year, it was clear, and it was something that we talked about almost every event. It was constantly like we got to do something with Davis. Like, we got to pay attention. Like, he's going to either get burnt out where he's at. I think he was in a position, and he might agree, is that the guys around him weren't working as hard as he was at the time. And that kind of makes players kind of, am I in the right spot? If I'm not going to get the opportunities I'm looking for, I got to go look for them. We knew that was going to be an option for him as well. So we wanted to make sure we took advantage of that before he goes looking for another team somewhere else. Yeah, I think the D2 line that we absorbed this year is a great line. I think, we all said that he'd get along with it. He knows those guys. He'd fit in with those guys fine. It's a good option. So he still gets to move up to D2. But if he wants to take that leap of faith, it's up to him. At the time, it kind of was more reaching out to him, and we're starting to talk to each other more and more at practice around that era and saying, like, hey, if you want to do it, you definitely have the ethic. I was nervous because, like I said, projecting myself onto it, I was like, I rush things, man. I don't know. I mean, just take a year D2 and then we'll pull you up next year, but whatever you want to do. And he's like, no, I got it. And I'm pretty sure I gave him the credit at the event. Like, he definitely's got it. Like, he didn't drop the beat, and he was right there with us the whole time. Him and I actually had one of my favorite points
Okay.
Probably top 3 favorite points that I'll ever be in. And it was something that we did in practice. It was something that we failed in practice. We talked about what we should do if we're in that situation again. We were alone up in the center 50s, kind of just bouncing off each other, crossed up. I mean, there was one point in time the player was on our side of the Doritos. I have my gun pointed directly at Davis next to me, shooting over his shoulder. And I'm just like, don't move, don't move. And I get my guy, he gets his guy. We boom, boom, boom. And we ended up winning that point. And it was definitely like one of those moments where it's like, okay, cool. Like he's ready.
Nice. Davis, you got a favorite one outside of that point from the event?
Maybe not a favorite point, but hearing my name called in the overtime point for the Denver altitude match was
Okay.
kind of when I was like, okay, like these guys trust me. Like I'm part of like I hate to say this, but I'm part of like the boys now. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah,
That's
that's
awesome.
definitely the point that I always think back on.
Okay. Like that. What was there any moment of doubt for you during the event? Because from Aaron's story, you sounds like you were rocking all, but at any point did you go like, man, maybe I don't belong or anything like that, or confidence the whole way through?
Maybe like leading up to the event, definitely I was like doubting myself. I was like, I don't know if I got this, but like we were talking about when we practiced Ironman on Thursday, and the first point I go out there and it's like, okay, like these are just normal dudes. Like what Aaron and I talked about it after the practice. He was like, these are just normal dudes. Like it's just a little bit faster, but it's I don't know. I've been playing paintball for so long that I don't know. I've seen all types of skill levels, so it wasn't really anything new to me.
Yeah, I think paintball is one of those games where like we look up to the pro level so much through the divisionals, and so few people get to experience what it's actually like playing against those guys. And you hype it up in your head to be that they're just supernatural, like that. What's going to
Exactly.
happen? I'm not even going to be able to keep up with. And once you finally realize, like, I've played people that I was more scared of than this, even. As soon as that confidence starts to build and it goes away, it's just guys that make fewer mistakes. It's kind of like in golf, I think, right? It's just, it's just about not making mistakes and executing. But they're just humans. They're just guys. So I asked him the same. I was like, how was it? How'd you feel after playing the Ironman? He was like, yeah, that wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I was like, now like the nerves are gone. He's like, oh yeah, all gone. We're good. Every time I check on him, he was just, yeah, not even stressed. I was more stressed for him than he was, I think. I was like, oh, okay, we're good. He's fine.
I was having so much fun. I think that's really what it like came down to.
Well, that's the key, right? Not to
Yeah.
stress it, have fun with it.
Yeah.
How did you guys manage to line up the practice with the Ironman?
Got a lot of connections. I mean, Mikey McGowan being the biggest one, played on the Ironman for a few years, so he's still real tight with Mike Paxson, Shane Pastana. He's the one that reached out and made the connection happen for us. Mike Paxson also coached Prime Paintball back in the day, which half of our team played on. So he's been a coach for half of our players, knows everyone on the team. I play with him on Chicago Aftershock from time to time in 10-man. So we're all pretty good friends with those guys to reach out and just say, do we want to practice? And I think now that we have the semi-pro stature that they were like, yeah, absolutely. And I think we went 50-50 with those guys. I mean, they definitely had the first maybe 2 points on us and everyone kind of woke up real quick. And then once we got a point on them, it's really started building some confidence and kind of getting everyone to the right tempo and the right pace. And after that practice, I think everybody was real ready for sure.
It sounds like it was a real building event for the whole team, like just overall ironing out kinks and just getting confidence up in that division.
I mean, I let Davis speak for himself. I'm curious to hear even, but I love the way this team is structured. I love the way that we hold ourselves accountable and each other accountable. We have a dude that will absolutely tell us how it is and tear into us when we need to hear it. And we have a group of people that just take it and respect, like, yeah, he's right. Let's fucking get on this and let's fix it. It's just like we can't lose. Anything that really comes our way, everyone really looks at it as like we can't lose. We just learn. Just take it, learn from it. What needs to happen next? Now let's just do that. Keep going forward. It's very unique. Like not a lot of teams have that kind of chemistry. I think definitely. I think what helps us out and is why we were able to just do what we did in a new division. Last time we spoke, I did not expect that we would do as well as we did, for sure. I think I said top 10.
Yeah.
To make a Sunday would be great. But then come Sunday, we turn on the afterburners. And I think it's just, again, because the way we hold ourselves accountable, the little details. I mean, we're talking about how we temperature control the paint, from how we talk to each other off the pits to the lines of communication that are allowed in the pits to, I mean, a lot of different rules and details that contribute to the success of this team. It's very unique. I haven't had it anywhere else yet. It's great. I'm constantly learning still.
So Davis, how was it for you? Like, or how has it been like coming in to this? Because same organization kind of, but a different
Yeah.
team. How has
Because
that
he saw it from
adjustment
the
been?
outside last year, and now you're inside.
Yeah,
So it's like, yeah, what's your
exactly.
opinion?
I mean, comparing it to last year on like the D3 line, it's night and day different. Yeah, like the way that everyone has like a respect for everyone in the pits and like outside the pits, you really notice it. I think it kind of comes down to just all us knowing each other for like this long, I guess. Like everyone's known each other for 10 plus years. We've like how Aaron and I were talking, like whether we actually like know each other or we know of each other. So that respect is definitely there, but I don't know. I think we have a super professional like take on like the pits and stuff. I think it just comes from, our experience and, how, Paxson used to coach Prime. So we have that kind of experience and, that knowledge and we know what to do. But I mean, like being on the outside last year, I was always in the pits for these dudes because we were lucky enough to have different schedules. Like we'd play in the morning for D3 and then I'd immediately be over here and helping these dudes. So I was always part of the pits. So it wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't,
Okay.
but it's been organized and for the most part organized.
So, but you had that exposure to it
Yeah,
before
yeah, yeah.
becoming a member of the team. So
Exactly, yeah.
hopefully that helped with the transition.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I gotta ask about the ICPL a little bit.
Yeah, it was great. We had fun. What else?
Fair enough. Gotta come back stronger.
Looking forward to the next one. No, we at my first event with the All A's, it was awesome. Like that's a big bucket list thing for me. So I got 2 New Jerseys in my closet that mean the world to me and I'll never get rid of. So I'm excited about that. I think kind of tapping into what we just spoke about, I'm fortunate to also be on a team where it is just full of professionals and people that have been doing this for so long. And every time you're around them, I feel like you're just something to learn, something to gain from that. We obviously didn't do as well as we wanted to. We were pretty tough on each other. It's a fairly new line for the All Americans. They're players that have all played on the team, but it's the first time we've all done it together for
Gotcha.
probably half of us. But it was great. It was the first time I got to play with Ryan. We had Ryan Moorhead, Sam Silberg from Infamous, some of those guys that came down and played with us. That was a great experience. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. It definitely was fun still, but not the finish that we would expect from, I think, this caliber of team. We were pretty disappointed in ourselves and everyone was pretty upset. But it is what it is. Move on, go to the next one, and reset.
Yep. Old Bay is, well, when is Old Bay?
May, I
Is
just
it-
actually
is it
going
May?
over that just now. May 1st
Okay.
weekend. Yeah, May 1st to the 3rd, I think it is. So a few weeks coming up.
How close is that to the next in XL? Is that pretty close?
Yeah, I got
Feels like it's close.
we have our local tournament series, the NGXL, coming up next weekend. So I'll be coaching a team. Davis here, it will be there, I think, attending as well. And we're going to be practicing this weekend for the layout. Next weekend is tournament. Next weekend is our layout for NXL. Following weekend's New Jersey. Following weekend is, I think, maybe a weekend off, and then or not the ICPL. So yeah, I think the next 8 weekends is just one of those buckle up kind of things.
You're booked for a while, huh?
My friends, I've kind of just canceled on any of them. Like these paintball, these are the only guys I got. I'm just hanging out with them.
I think it happens regardless of what division you're playing in if you're committed, and the friend group becomes the team.
That's basically it. But we're fortunate for that because we've known each other for so long. It's pretty easy.
Yeah. So, well, Davis, are you looking to play anything else besides the NXLs this year?
Well, yeah, I'm playing the next NGXO with with North Georgia Quake before I rank out.
Okay.
So
Get that
I gotta
last
get my
local in.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm not
But I'm
hating
excited.
on it.
No, I was hating on it until I got into this position. I was like, nah, I can't do it. I can't do it. And then now I'm doing it.
And the worst part is he did, as you just said, I can't do it. I can't do it. For the past
Yeah.
month, I've been telling him, hey, you have to do it, man. It's your last chance to play local. We all did it. You
Mhm.
have to do it. Come play on my team. Come on. And then last weekend, he drops the news. Boom. He's playing on one of our other teammates' teams. So, yeah, he's got favorites apparently on our line. So I got to deal with
Okay.
that.
So, what team are you coaching, Aaron?
I'm coaching the Sand Tigers. So.
They've been in the league for a hot minute, right?
Yeah, they did well. They won last year in the Division 5, moved up. I was actually coaching the North Georgia Quake guys last season.
Okay.
They also moved up, changed their name, North Georgia Quake. So I think, luckily, I know that's the one team I know the best.
Huh.
So adding Davis is just another guy. It's not a big deal.
So you're coming for him. That's what you're saying.
This
Yeah.
is gonna get. Yeah.
Make you nervous at all, Davis? Or
No,
you got it?
no.
Yeah,
Dave
no,
should be nervous.
the best part of this is he has nothing to be afraid of. There's just a little bit of an expectation on how he does,
Yeah.
and if he doesn't, then that's on him. But we'll see.
gotta have a good day.
Oh yeah. That's gonna be in the back of my mind the whole time. Joey commentating. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll all
Yeah,
be
it
there to
won't be
watch.
good. It
We'll
won't be
never
good.
let him live it down if he doesn't just not
Yep.
get shot all weekend.
Yeah. Luckily there's a big tower I can hide behind right off the box.
There you go. Are you guys staying in Bearage for the next layout practice, or are you going somewhere?
Probably gonna go to Prime Paintball out in
Yeah, we
Leeds,
kind of
Alabama.
it's kind of our schedule is normally the layout weekend is at Prime just because we have more privacy to ourselves out there. And we all get to sleep on the property and just a good weekend to just play all day long for 2-3 days.
Okay, nice.
But I do know Josh just put in a brand new turf field at Bearage that is
Looking really
going to
nice.
be pretty nice. So we're looking forward to that too. So that's also going to be ready this weekend. So we don't know. We'll see if we end up staying just to play on the new field or if we head out to Prime.
And that's at the tournament location, right? The new turf field. Not the.
That'll be the new event. Will be the next event. Will be on the new field, I believe. So
That's really nice.
yeah, it's gonna be.
I personally prefer turf. I don't know what you guys prefer, but what do you prefer and why?
I think for me, it's kind of location. Like I do actually like turf as well, but down here in the south, that turf gets kind of hot. So I mean, there's definitely pros and cons to it. I've played up north, more like Midwest area, and turf, and it's kind of cooler. That the temperature's ideal. I love turf. I really do. I'm kind of looking forward to it. I do prefer it over the grass we had on our previous field. So I think it's a great upgrade for Bear Ridge and location we're in. But if you are going to talk about grass, I mean, when we go out to Prime, we're pretty spoiled when it comes to grass. There's no
Field of
there's no
dreams.
nicer grass in the country, so it's hard to not want grass when we have that kind of grass. So I think we get best of both worlds now, so we're set.
Yeah, I was talking to a guy who's based out of Vegas Monday night, and he had heard about Prime and how good the grass is. What about you, Davis?
normally
you got a
you get
preference? Sorry, go.
I was gonna say, yeah, pro teams or I mean anyone that gets a chance to go out there and see it, they're always kind of the same. It's like this is actually the nicest grass field I've played on. It's wild.
Awesome.
What you like, Davis?
I mean, I'm with Aaron on this one. I mean, turf is like I'm glad he said where the turf is better at Bear Ridge than the grass, but yeah, no. I mean, if it's 100 degrees outside, I don't like turf, but if it's like it is outside today, turf is nice.
Nice. Cool. What you guys got any good stories from the team house that you can share? Got any pranksters on the team?
Definitely have favorites.
Okay.
Josh Milligan's he's a character. He has anytime you're around Josh, normally everyone's grinning ear to ear. He's always a good time. Joey's our team captain. He's kind of the one that keeps us all accountable. So normally he's just yelling at us all the time when we're in the house. Yeah, pretty much it. Everyone else is pretty low key. Everyone kind of just keeps their corner, stays to their rooms. When it's team time, we all come hang out together in the living room, pile in, watch footage, sit together. End of the night, normally in these nice like the Florida houses, you have that by the pool. Everyone just sitting by the pool with their feet in the water or something, just chilling, talking. It's just a lot of good times with friends. Nothing that stands out that I'd be willing to share publicly yet.
Okay, fair enough. So are you guys eating out or are you cooking in?
That's actually, I'm glad you brought that up because we are probably one of the more spoiled teams when it comes to how we get to eat this year. One of our good friends at our local field, Justin, he's a chef and has his own business as far as meal planning goes. N3 meals,
M3 meals?
That's right.
3 meals. Like, I'm gonna talk to him, maybe see if like what we can do to help get you some samples.
Hey, that'd be awesome.
Man, I mean, he's got all these pre-portioned things. I mean, it comes just ready to go, heated up quickly. He sent us all, like everyone on the team with like 3 to 4, 5 personal meals each to last us the whole weekend. So
Nice.
if we had the option of just going back to the house, grabbing a meal out of the fridge and warming it up, oven or microwave, and going, it saved us money. It saved us time. And it's something we're going to do, I guess, for the rest of the year. So that's like one of our favorite sponsors right now is N3 Meals.
Awesome. That's a great sponsor. That's like having a personal chef, but not having one right there with you.
And that's his whole business. So if that's something that anyone's ever interested in, reach out to Justin and see what you can do. He does these pre-portioned meals for the week, for a month, just all sort of meal planning, and helps you kind of organize that dietary part of your life. So yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Awesome. So that's a great sponsor to have. And then let's run through the sponsors real quick while we're on it. So M3 Meals, you got the 3, right?
Shout out Valken,
Falcon.
best paint in the game. Shout out ProChar, Carbon.
Oh, and Carbon. Yeah, can't forget
Yeah, and
Carbon.
Carbon. Who else? We can't forget anyone.
It's really, I mean, we're
Ward's Dog Spa. Shout out Ward's Dog Spa.
Yeah, anyone down South Georgia?
Sacred Vibes. Who I can't think of anyone else.
Sacred Vibe headbands.
Okay.
It's a good one.
Is that one of the guys on the team or just a local?
Yep, Blaine Matthews. He's got his own little. He's got everyone strapped up.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty much it. I mean, luckily, I mean, 2 of the guys are on the team. We got local guys that are from Bearage, the owners of Bearage. The paint is really the only thing that's not an internal thing for us. So we're really trying to keep the program growing internally if we can, I guess.
That's cool. And Bearage, is it this weekend? Next weekend? The Kyle Berry, who just moved to Georgia, right, is hosting a clinic. You guys remember when that's coming up?
I think it's the April 12th and 13th.
Okay, so April 12th and 13th. This will definitely
be
come out
completely
before
wrong.
then. So
Huge having Kyle be a hometown guy now for us. I mean, definitely getting to pick his brain. Mike Bianca, we're very close with him as well. So we're big Dynasty fans. And Kyle jumping out of Dynasty and then moving here to Georgia was great timing. I mean, we're big supporters of him, and he seems to be wanting to do the same for us. So we're looking forward to getting to pick his brain and utilize him being around for sure. That's going to be huge for us.
awesome. Cool. Well, anything else that we need to cover, guys? A little bit of a shorter one, but like that's all right. We're right there.
No,
Good.
Davis, you got anything you wanted to share?
No, I mean, not that I can think of.
All right. Well, we'll call it a wrap. We'll get you guys back on after Atlantic City.
Yep. No, we appreciate it. And I know you and I had mentioned too, maybe, and I threw it out there to the team. Maybe we could do a little, like a short one inside the team house, even with the guys, or try to see if I can get a few of the guys in on that one.
Yeah, that would be awesome. We can we'll just do like a little Atlantic City update maybe, and everyone can just gather around the phone or the laptop and
set you up on the big screen in the living room, so we'll connect it and do all that,
right.
and then we'll just all huddle around it.
Awesome. Yeah, that'll be fun. So, all right.
Sweet.
Well, just hang out for a little bit, and we'll call it a wrap.
Cool, man. Appreciate you having us on.
Thanks for tuning in to the Planet Paintball podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Whether you're out there grinding in the divisional pits or chasing dreams on the pro stage, remember, it's all about the passion, the hustle, and the love for the sport. Shout out to 1023 Sportswear for sponsoring the show. Don't forget to use code PlanetPaintball at checkout for 20% off your order. Gear up, save big. Until next time, keep grinding, keep growing, and we'll see you back here on the Planet Paintball podcast